Hi everybody and welcome back to The Upside Dan. I want to thank Netflix for giving me a screener for season 1 of Sweet Tooth. Thank you so much, Netflix. It's greatly appreciated. Sweet Tooth is based off the beloved DC comic books. But what did I think of it? Let's get right to it. And this is a non-spoiler review. Years after the Great Crumble changed everything, a hybrid deer boy forms an unlikely bond with a wandering loner. They embark on an extraordinary adventure through the lush, dangerous world left behind, searching for the meaning of home. This TV show was created by Jim Mickle and Beth Schwartz. Robert Downey Jr. and his wife Susan Downey are executive producers on this show. It stars Nonso Anozie, Christian Convery, Stefania, LaVie, Owen, Will Forte, and is narrated by James Brolin. So I was so excited to get this screener because the trailers made it look so interesting. Different, but interesting. It all really intrigued me, to see what this show really was, what it was about. So I will say I enjoyed my time watching this show. I binged it pretty quickly. At the end of each episode, I was like, oh, I want to watch the next one. Oh, I want to watch the next one. Throughout this show, it just did great at building that intrigue for me, that interest. There was a mystery here about these hybrids in this world that we were thrown into. And it is a world that I definitely want to revisit and hopefully get pushed back into again with further seasons. I really enjoy the characters and the story here, especially Nonso Anozie's Tommy Jeopard, and of course Christian Convery's Gus. Gus is a deer-human hybrid boy. Their relationship together was really my favorite part of the show, really. Their adventure together, and when they meet up with a character known as Bear, which of course when you watch it, you will understand more about why they call her Bear, why she's called Bear, whatever. You'll understand more, of course. Once she joined, the crowd, I really enjoyed their adventure together even more because she brought a great dynamic, within that group of two that we've been watching. She had a great banter with Jeopard, and you could tell she cared about Gus, and Gus really liked her. Gus really liked Jeopard. He was growing on him. It's these three characters, but especially, I gotta say again, Jeopard and Gus. I loved their dynamics. It was just so interesting to watch, and honestly, sometimes when it was on other characters elsewhere, I really just wanted to get the focus back to these two, and later Bear. So I think that these actors did a very good job conveying this. I'm so glad that Anozie has gotten more to work with. I'm definitely interested into seeing more what he does in the future, more of what Convery does in the future. And Stephanie LaVie Owens, she plays Bear. I want to see more of what these three do in the future. And I hope we get renewed for season 2 because I definitely, like I said, want to be pushed back into this world yet again. And you have Will Forte there. He does a great job. He plays Gus's dad, and he does a good job here. He's usually, Will Forte's usually from the comedy side of things, and there is some comedy here that worked. But he has a kind of more serious role, and it was definitely interesting to see his dynamic with Gus. I really enjoyed their relationship. There are things, though, within the 8 episodes that kind of don't work for me. There was time when the pacing was a little off, or like, oh, we didn't need that full episode to be focused on that. We could have maybe split that, plot line into half and maybe focus on character development of other characters that we didn't get that much about. We didn't get much of other characters, and I really was intrigued to find out more about them, and I hope we do in upcoming seasons. But yeah, there was just some pacing issues. I thought at times, it's actually more of a little nitpick because I pretty much enjoyed my whole time here. And, another issue though was the focus on, who the audience for this show is, because I felt like at times they were trying to, play for the kid audience, then they were trying to play for teens, and then they were trying to play for adults. I just wish that they picked one and stuck with it, because it is TV-14. And I don't know much about the comic books, but I hear they're dark. It maybe could have even gotten a TVMA kind of rating, I don't know. But they swear at times. There's times of peril and dread, and you're like, oh, they went there? Wow. But for the most part, I think this is more or less appropriate, though, for the family to watch. Maybe not really young kids, but it's TV-14, so do with that as you will. Okay, I will say, and this added to my, desire to go into the next episode, but the music choices were really good here. The soundtrack it just fit, I thought, perfectly, and it got me really excited at the end of some of these episodes, and I thought it just fit in so well, and it got me wanting to watch more. The visuals here, it was filmed in New Zealand, the locations, the different locations that they shot in were beautiful at times. The colors really pop out. There's a nice clear sky, clear, green grass. There's great mountains, trees, everything. It really popped, and it looked beautiful. It was a really nice looking show, and that added to my enjoyment of it, of course. So you got the characters, the actors playing those characters, the story, the world building, the lore of this world that I really wanted even more of. And you have the look, the environment, the visuals, the locations. All of those are just such big positives, and I honestly think they outweigh the nitpicks that I had for the most part. But I am still looking forward to season 2, and hopefully they can even improve even more, and they can get that intrigue and suspense correct again. I think that they got it right here. So I'm interested in seeing more. I'm not saying it's a perfect show, but it's an enjoyable show, and it's one of the better ones that I've watched recently. I was just so intrigued and on the edge of my seat at times. If that sounds interesting to you, it's a weird, it's a little weird, a little different kind of sci-fi post-apocalyptic world about hybrids that are human and some part animal, and that's really interesting. So if that sounded interesting to you, I think you're going to like this. Check out season 1 when it drops on Netflix, Friday, June 4th. I want to, of course, thank Netflix again for sending me the screener. I had such a good time with this show. I think that I would give it probably an 8.5 out of 10 at the moment. I don't love rating shows, especially when I just was doing episodes like of WandaVision or Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because that's harder, because you haven't seen the whole thing yet. But so far, I'm enjoying myself. 8.5 out of 10. Are you looking forward to Sweet Tooth? Have you seen it already? What are your thoughts? Let me know down in that comment section. Please follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. If you like what you just saw, please click around here to see some more. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video with your family and friends. Hit that notification bell, subscribe, and come to the upside, Dan.